So there's this idea out there that your habits either make you or break you. And I think it's true. In this video, I want to show you some habits of extremely successful people that have helped them become successful. So let's get into it. Habit number 1 is they always carry a notebook with them. Now, I don't know about you, but I tend to lose things all the time. If you take something from me, it's my keys, it's my wallet, it's my phone. But if you take it from these guys, it will be their notebook. See, for Edison, he believed that his notebooks were just as important as his light bulb. He kept notes on everything and anything that caught his attention. And according to those who worked with him, he would often refer back to these notes to inspire new ideas. Interestingly enough, Nikola Tesla also shared a similar habit, carrying a small notebook in his pocket wherever he went. Tesla used his notebook to jot down ideas for inventions, formulas, and even business strategies. It was said that these notebooks were so filled with ideas that Tesla would often have to carry around 2 of them at once. Albert Einstein also carried a notebook everywhere. He would use his notebook to write down equations, theories, and even jokes. There's a story about Einstein where he was giving a lecture, and a student asked him why he carried a notebook to class if he already knew everything. Einstein replied, "I carry my notebook to remind myself that I don't know everything." Warren Buffett is another person who carries a notebook everywhere. He uses his notebook to keep track of his investments and business deals. Buffett is known for his incredible memory, but he still relies on his notebook to keep track of all the details. The key takeaway here is that these men were able to harness the power of their mind by documenting their thoughts. This allowed them to stay organized, keep track of their progress, and generate new ideas. So my advice to you is to carry a notebook with you at all times and write down everything that you learn and everything that you think of. You never know what might come in handy in the future. The second habit is they ask questions. You see, we live in a world where everyone wants to be an expert. They want to have all the answers. But the truth is that no one knows everything. Even the smartest people in the world are constantly learning and growing. These people are not afraid to ask questions because they know that there is always something more to learn. Thomas Edison was famous for asking thousands of questions when he was trying to invent the light bulb. He asked questions about electricity, materials, and even manufacturing. His team members were initially annoyed by his constant questioning, but they came to realize that his questions were helping them to think outside the box and come up with innovative solutions. Nikola Tesla was also a big believer in asking questions. He believed that every question that was answered brought him closer to his goal. He would ask questions about everything related to his inventions and experiments, and he would not rest until he got a satisfactory answer. The Wright brothers were also big question askers. They were constantly curious about how things worked, and they were not afraid to experiment and try new things. This curiosity led them to become the first people to build a successful airplane. The key takeaway here is that these people were able to achieve great things by embracing curiosity and asking questions. They were not afraid to look like a fool or to admit that they didn't know something. Instead, they were willing to learn and grow. So my advice to you is to embrace your curiosity and ask questions. Don't be afraid to look silly or to admit that you need help. The important thing is that you keep learning and growing. The third habit is they read a lot. Now, these guys were voracious readers. They believed that reading was the key to unlocking their potential and achieving their goals. So they made it a habit to read constantly. In fact, these guys would read up to 6 hours a day. That's crazy. Just think about all the books they read in their lifetime. It's staggering. The crazy thing is that they didn't just read for pleasure. They read to learn. They would read books on everything from science to business to history. And they would highlight the most important points and write down their thoughts. They were basically learning machines. And it shows. Like they were able to use what they learned from books to develop new inventions, to create successful businesses, to change the world. Meanwhile, the average person spends 6 hours a day on social media. They scroll through their feed, they watch videos, They argue with people online. But they don't read. They don't learn. And they wonder why they're still stuck in the same place. The key takeaway here is that these guys were able to achieve extraordinary things by making reading a priority. They understood the power of knowledge, and they used it to their advantage. So if you want to achieve greatness, then start by reading more. Read voraciously. Read constantly. And don't just read for pleasure. Read to learn. The fourth habit is they surround themselves with the right people. You see, the people you surround yourself with have a huge impact on who you are and what you do. If you surround yourself with lazy, negative people, then you're gonna be lazy and negative too. But if you surround yourself with driven, positive people, then you're gonna be driven and positive too. It's just human nature. These guys knew this better than anyone else. They carefully selected the people they surrounded themselves with because they knew that it would make a huge difference. Take a look at Edison's team. It was a hand-picked group of individuals who were the best in their field. They were experts in electricity, mechanics, and manufacturing. They were also eager to learn and grow. This team would meet regularly to discuss new ideas and inventions. They would brainstorm for hours on end, and they would push each other to be their best. Nikola Tesla also surrounded himself with the best and brightest minds. He had a core group of friends who were always eager to learn about his latest inventions and theories. This group included engineers, scientists, and even business people. They provided Tesla with the support and resources he needed to succeed. The Wright brothers also had a tight-knit group of friends who supported their dream of building an airplane. They were not afraid to voice their opinions, and they helped each other to improve their designs. This group was essential to the Wright brothers' success. The key takeaway here is that these people were able to achieve greatness by surrounding themselves with the right people. They understood the importance of teamwork, and they assembled groups of individuals who were talented, motivated, and eager to learn. So if you want to achieve greatness, then surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and push you to be your best. And the fifth habit is, they are disciplined. Discipline is the ability to make yourself do things you should do, even when you do not feel like doing them. And these guys were the epitome of discipline. They had the discipline to wake up early, to work late, to sacrifice their time and energy for their goals. They understood that discipline was the key to success, and they embraced it. Their discipline was evident in everything they did. For example, Tesla was known for his incredible work ethic. He would often work 12 to 14-hour days in his lab, and he was known for his attention to detail. He was also very particular about his habits and routines. He would always wear the same clothes, and he would always eat the same foods. He believed that this helped him to focus on his work. The Wright brothers were also incredibly disciplined. They saved every penny they earned, and they spent it wisely on materials for their inventions. They were also very methodical in their approach to building their airplane. They tested each component thoroughly, and they made sure that everything was perfect before moving on. The key takeaway here is that these people were able to achieve greatness through discipline. They understood that success required sacrifice and hard work, and they were willing to pay the price. So if you want to achieve greatness, then cultivate discipline. Learn to control your impulses and focus on your long-term goals. Learn to delay gratification and make sacrifices today in order to enjoy the rewards tomorrow. So there you have it, 5 habits of extremely successful people that have helped them become successful. Let me ask you, what habits have you developed that have helped you succeed? I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.